Starting a new life in a new country. 2 months ago, the Malki family made a harrowing journey from Syria to Sweden.
We were smuggled out through Turkey and Greece. We took a boat that was made for 6 people, but there were 14 of us in it. When we got to shore, we had to walk through thick bushes and forest. We were carrying our children. They were crying. Then someone in a car picked us up. We traveled for weeks before we got to Sweden.
This family is just one example of the hundreds of thousands of Syrians fleeing the violence in their country. Most head to Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon and Turkey. From there, many are smuggled into the EU countries, with one of the favorite destinations being Sweden. The country's open arms policy means there's been a huge influx of Syrians. Since August, more than 1,000 have been arriving each week. This church outside Stockholm helps Syrian families with practical and spiritual support. And it's this kind of outreach that helps Sweden to cope with the increasing number of refugees.
Our church can probably only help 1,000 more people. The refugees we see today, it's just a start. When all the Syrians who fled to neighboring countries leave there, hundreds of thousands are going to come to Sweden.
When the refugees arrive, they go to one of several local migration offices and have their applications assessed. They are usually granted asylum within days. There's been some anti-immigrant sentiment in Sweden, but migration officials say they have an obligation to fulfill.
And there's an international law that says that people that are in need of international protection should get it. Then there are other countries that perhaps are not living up to the international standards right now. And currently it's Sweden and Germany who are giving international protection in this scope.
But the rising number of Syrians choosing to make the country their home is raising some concerns.
We don't have unlimited resources. We now have a prognosis for next year for 54,000 asylum seekers, and quite a lot of them will be from Syria. It's not just a question of offering people a place to sleep or something to eat. It's also a long-term perspective.
Just days before our visit, the Malki family was granted a 3-year residency permit. And Gabriel hopes Sweden will provide the safe and peaceful future that his home country couldn't. Nyberg, Al Jazeera, Stockholm.